Hi, today we're playing Adastra. Um, I haven't played this shit in a minute, so hopefully I don't cry my eyes out. Let's get into it. It's so large. It's too much. How do they get anything done?
Sensing doubt. Shall we proceed with the directive, Amicus?
I don't know. Are you sure they're level 5?
Data from mission 3265193 indicates primate species with level 5 intelligence and
Understood, thank you.
most recent data indicates that all uplift attempts failed.
Huh, that figures. Why did we try to uplift here in the first place?
Sensing doubt. Shall we proceed?
Name of the planet?
Earth.
Location of Romanus uplift?
The city of Rome in the state of Italy.
Is the probe there?
It has arrived.
Give me a visual. Zoom in. That doesn't look like Adastra at all.
Reminder that uplift failed. Ruins of uplift attempt remain.
Show me the ruins.
Showing the Roman Forum. Sensing doubt.
Shut up, please. What the hell are they even saying? That's not the language. It's all messed up.
Sensing.
That creature there.
They are called humans.
Get closer. It's a human?
Collecting data. He appears to be a young male human.
Initiate landing sequence.
Have you located the directive?
Yes.
Warning that the full nexus analysis is incomplete.
Now, please. We can't waste time outside the stretch drive.
Initiating landing sequence.
It's hard to believe I'm actually here. After years of fantasizing about it, I'm in Rome. I've been bouncing around all with my friends all day like an idiot. Yeah, I look like a total tourist, but this is what I've been saving up for the past few years. A whole semester in Rome with a study abroad program. All the conversations I've had with my parents about what a waste of money it would be evaporates from my brain as I take in the view. We only have a few hours, so we move from the Forum to Palatine Hill, and then finally to a nearby disco where I get just a little drunk. Before I knew it, it's 2 in the morning, and somehow my friends and I are able to stumble to a taxi that takes us back to our apartments. I walk unsteadily through the darkness, glad I have a place for myself now. Apparently, my group was the first to arrive, and my assigned flatmates won't be here for at least a few days. I open the door to my room and move my hand along the wall. I stumble in and sit on my bed, bouncing happily for a moment. I think about going to the balcony, but I've been walking all day, and it feels nice sitting down. Plus, it might not be a great idea considering the state I'm in now. Still, just knowing the magic of the cities outside my window is going to make it hard to sleep. I sigh happily and look around my room. Actually, I'm told this is kind of big by this city standards. It's still a little bare since I moved in today. I basically just dropped my suitcases next to the door before running out again. I glance at them, but I decide I'm way too tired to even unpack, even if my pajamas are in there. It's fine. I'm just laying on top of the covers. I'll get to it tomorrow. In the meantime, I just lay back, smiling in the afterglow of today's excitement. And tomorrow I'll get to see even more. Damn it, I need to calm down. No way am I going to have the energy I'll need tomorrow if I'm up all night. I've got a whole semester, and on top of that, school doesn't actually start for another 2 weeks. There's plenty of time. Just relax for now and enjoy it. With that thought in my head, I start to drift off. Something moves. I lay there in the dark, wondering if I dreamed it. I had been dreaming. even though I can't remember what exactly it was about. Something about a portal, maybe? I listened for a while, but there's no other sound, just the occasional soft whoosh of a car passing by my passing by outside my balcony. God, I shift around a little. The suffocating humidity is making these sheets stick to my skin, and I wonder if there's maybe a fan in the closet. I finally sit up in the bed, realizing that there's no way I'm going to fall back to sleep like this. I could at least try sliding the door open to the balcony door, though I'm not sure that will do me any good. Worth a try, I guess. I groggily slide out of my bed and try to slide the glass door open, but it doesn't budge. I struggle for a few more seconds before sighing and moving toward the door to find the light switch. My feet slide along the semi-cool wooden floor, which feels great, while my hands stretch out in front of me, searching for a wall. Right. Then I remember I was woken up by noises, and I imagined some intruder was standing there in the dark waiting for me to bump into him. Feeling the hair stand up on the back of my neck, I quicken my pace and find a wall, fumbling around until I quickly glance around the room, relieved that it's empty. My parents had warned me about the crime rate here. While the city is technically safe in terms of murder, robberies and muggings are apparently pretty common. I shrugged it off at the time, but now that I'm alone, I make my way to the balcony, looking for the lock before seeing that there's a latch near the top of the door. I unhook it, and it slowly slides the door open. I'm disappointed to find that the air wafting from outside is almost as stuffy as the air inside. Still, I take the moment to stare out at the lights of the city for a while. Even though I'm more interested in the ruins, the city itself is undeniably beautiful. Nothing like my hometown. That's when I notice there's a strange smell in the air, like burning rubber. I stick my head out a bit further, looking around for the source, but I see nothing. Maybe that's normal here? I look back at the clock on the wall. 4 a.m. I shuffle back to bed, only realizing that I've left the light on once I've already fallen back onto the covers. I sigh and will myself to get up, but the tiredness had returned, and the heavy humidity is almost like a warm blanket pressing down on me. I close my eyes. I'll get up and turn it off in a second. I just need to rest my eyes for a bit. Just for a bit. Something moves again, and there's another smell in the air. A good smell this time. Something floral. It reminds me of lavender, and that's when something hard and sharp presses onto my left eye socket just above the eye. It doesn't really hurt, but it shocks me awake. Hello. It leans over me, something shiny in its grip, which is pulling back from my head. Ah. Ah! I kick it with both feet, hitting the thing leaning over me in its body. Hit up, Paul. It lets out a surprised grunt, stumbling back and falling on its rear while I scramble onto the bed, pressing myself against the wall. Almost immediately, it scrambles back up, revealing its massive build and its masculine shape. He adjusts his cape and soothes down his fur before rubbing at his chest, giving me an odd look, and fixes a smile back onto his face. Have? I stare. That's all I can do, is stare. He stares back at me for a moment and clears his throat. Ave. Hello. The space above my left eye throbs, and it sounds like I'm hearing two things at once from the same voice. Potes intelligere? Do you understand? Again, the bizarre twitching in my eye, in my brain, and hearing two things at once. I feel like I'm gonna be sick. The room starts to shift and swirls a bit, and then slowly starts to settle again. The twitching in my head turns into a dull throb. I'm having a nightmare. Do you understand me? I stare back at him, and he stares back. I don't know if this chip is working. But what? The creature raises its head, rubbing at it. Well, he can speak, and it's translating. Can you understand me? When am I gonna wake up? He keeps staring at me, and I automatically respond to him. Yes? Ah, good. It seems it's finally working now. They take a moment to adjust to the host brain. I struggle to keep up with his words. I'm still hearing what he's saying. It's almost Italian, with inflections of rolling R's, but at the same time, it's definitely not Italian. Still, I can understand what he's saying, like he's speaking my own language at the same time. It makes it hard to concentrate. What is your name? No. Uh, his expectant look almost forces an answer out of my mouth. Norhig? Norhig. Beautiful. I am Amicus. The confusing double language I was hearing is starting to fade, and now only my own language comes from his mouth. It's odd. The words aren't quite matching up with his lips. What's even more distracting are his massive canines that continue to flash behind those lips. I need to get the hell out of here. Dream or not, I do not like the look of his teeth and claws on this thing. Is the lingua having troubles again? I don't respond, instead glancing at the door to the right. Behind this, Amicus. He frowns. Calm, you told me they're level 5. It can't even speak with it. And it takes me a moment to realize he's not talking to me. I hear a soft chatter coming from the wolf, like someone's talking to him from the phone, but I can't see anything. Yeah, well, he kicked me in the chest. Amicus rubs his own chest with a frown, more muffled speaking. Of course I didn't. He just kicked me. He's looking at me like he has no idea. More muffled speaking interrupts him. Oh, wait, what? Are you serious? He looks pissed, and I press myself hard against the wall, trying to work up the courage to make a break for the door. How? You're always offering me opinions on my mood, but you couldn't offer that? More muffled babbling, but the wolf interrupts it with a snarl. Well, what the hell do I do now? His lips are drawn back, and I get to have a real good view of those canines. I stare wide-eyed at them, and that's when he seems to notice me again. He readjusts his expression to a smile, but I can still see a fang poking out. Hey, listen. Something about the way he acts, his expressions, demeanor. He's so human. Could you could you come with me outside for a quick moment? For some reason, the realization of his humanness makes me absolutely positive that this was a dream. This must be a character from a game or a movie that I'd seen. I shake my head slowly at him. Please? I just stare, still waiting to wake up. I've had dreams where I couldn't wake up before. It's just one of those. I remember reading somewhere that if you aren't sure that you're dreaming, you could plug your nose. If you can still breathe, then it's definitely a dream. But I remain frozen against the wall. The massive wolf sighs, and his paw suddenly starts to move to his waist. Diva. I only have a moment before I see some sort of device with multicolored lights with working moves, and my entire body seizes up and things go black. Girl, he did not just tase me. My body feels strangely numb. It's like when I wake up with a dead leg or arm, except right now it's my entire body. The only thing that I can really feel is sharp, cold pain behind and above my left eye. I try to wiggle in my hands. I try to wiggle my fingers and hands, warning for having some sort of sleep paralysis. They move. At least, I think they do. Everything's so dark. Am I still in the apartment? Usually there's a little bit of light coming from the balcony because of the street lamps, but everything is pitch black. I start to feel a little panicky, both from the numb feeling and also the idea that I might have gone blind somehow. I try to remember what happened last. Did I go out somewhere? Maybe a club? The disco. Did I take something? start to push myself up, and that's when I feel something soft under my hands, something very hard under it, like concrete. I'm definitely not in a bed right now. Now that I'm really starting to panic, wondering if I'd been kidnapped, I get on my hands and knees, thankful that the numb feeling is going away. I'm also relieved to find out I'm not blind. I see a soft glow of light outlining what's roughly the shape of a door in front of me. I open my mouth, about to call out before I force it shut again. I have no idea where I am or how I got here, but I am not liking the signs. My head throbs a little, and I close my eyes tight, trying to steady my breathing, listening to my heart pound. I definitely gotta get back to my apartment, and I remember going to bed, and then I remember my eyes fly open as I remember that wolf creature staring at me with those blue eyes and those teeth. Oh my god, there's no way. There's no fucking way. I open my eyes again, stare at the soft light, trying to listen. There's a constant hum of some kind, a whirring of a large machine. It's gentle and almost soothing, but it makes me think I'm in some sort of vehicle. But I don't feel anything, no bumps or turns. I slowly crawl towards the door, listening as hard as I can for voices or movement, anything that might tell me someone's nearby. As I get closer to the door, I do hear something, a type of beeping and chirping. I stay in that position for what feels like a solid 15 minutes, not hearing anything more. I think about trying to open the door, but I realize that might not be a great idea. I still don't know if that wolf was real. No, I know he ain't real. What's more likely is that someone slipped something into my drink and I hallucinated everything. I had laughed it off with my parents' warnings that tourists are vulnerable in Rome, but now that doesn't seem so crazy. Someone had drugged me, followed me to my apartment, and then kidnapped me. I need something, a weapon, before I try opening that door. I feel like I'm in a closet of some kind, so there's probably something here I can use. Slowly, I get on my knees and start moving forward, leaving my hands out in front of me. If I can find the shelves, then I can just feel around for something solid, and my hand sweeps what feels like a box, and what follows is a clang of metal as something falls to the floor. I cringe, squeezing my eyes shut as the sound echoes around the room I'm in. Oh, you're fucked, dude. I kneel there in complete silence, stunned. That's when the light spills over my body, is followed by a large shadow. Oh, hey, you're awake. Did you know he was awake?
Yes, for approximately 2 hours.
I swear to the gods, why are you so useless? I sit there, not having turned around yet, but the shadow gets bigger, and I feel him looming over me. I get a whiff of lavender. Finally, I slowly turn my head to see the wolf. He towers over me, his broad muzzle pointed down so he can look me right in my eyes. While his size and general demeanor are intimidating, his eyes are warm and friendly. It doesn't really matter to me right now, as I realize that I hadn't been dreaming or hallucinating either. Or the dream/hallucination is ongoing. The wolf moves towards me, and I immediately scoot back into the shelves, dig something into my spine. I vaguely notice that metal thing I'd knocked over earlier. It's a polygon-shaped thing with a long cord running out of it.
Remember, the humans doesn't know about the galaxies. Proceed with caution.
The wolf's ears flick before he visibly tries to write his expression into a smile. Hello, human. Sorry, I mean Norhig, right? Again, I get caught up in watching the movements of his mouth counter to what I'm hearing in my brain, and then I notice that he's waiting, watching me intently. I open my mouth and close it, then nod. The wolf still stares at me, seeming not to understand. Right? The silence stretches until I force myself to speak. Yes, comes out and barely. Shit, let me retry that. Yes, comes out in barely a whisper. Great, so. Now that we understand that, I can tell you that I'm from the star Stella Vita, very far from here. The wolf sets his paws far apart, his eyes wide as he emphasizes the distance. He's talking to me in a way a very dumb 2 year old might. Wait, what? Hold on. He's talking to me in a way one might to a very dumb 2 year old. I live on a moon called Adastra. Do you know what a moon is? You live on what's called a planet. I stare at him for a moment, almost offended despite my continued shock. Amicus smiles gently. A moon is a large. I know what a moon is. Amicus blinks at me. We have one? Yeah. My words feel very automatic. Actually, everything feels like I'm on autopilot right now. Oh, well, I didn't know that. That's great. There's an awkward silence as the two of us stare at each other. The initial fear is wearing off. I feel if this alien meant to hurt me, he probably would have done it by now. At least for now. Amicus rubs his paws together nervously. Are you hungry? He motions at his mouth and then rubs his stomach while licking his lips. Mmm. Again, he gestures and expressions that I have no trouble interpreting. The only alien thing about him is his appearance. I don't know. The wolf almost frowns, looking almost frustrated. His slow speech gets even slower. Well, why don't we give it a try then? I guess my answers don't exactly make me seem intelligent, but I don't know how else to respond. Why don't you come out to the deck with me? I'll make something. Amicus gives an exaggerated come on gesture with both his paws as he walks backwards straight into the wall as he misses the door. Ow, yeah, let's go, human. He rubs the back of his head with a wince before turning and walking out the door. I stare at the open door for a moment before slowly getting up and following him, walking over to the brown shag rug the soft thing had been laying on. That's when I'm standing in the middle of what looks like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. It's small, cramped, but the amount of unfamiliar glowing technology is almost overwhelming. The glass panels cover almost every inch of the walls around me, displaying images and characters that I can't even come close to understanding. Straight ahead of me are large windows, looking towards the blackness, dotted with specks of light. Specks of light. I'm in a spaceship. Where the hell is the oh, where the hell is he taking me? Amicus is over to my right side, messing with what I could only describe as a large espresso machine growing out the side of the spaceship. He's holding a cup under a nozzle, ducking down a little to stare at the opening. He notices me looking. Takes a while to warm up. I have to warn you, it's not very good, but it's probably better than most of what you eat on your moon planet. I mean, just as he's taking a very thick globule of brown sludge, shoots out of the nozzle, half of it missing the cup. God damn it. The wolf hastily moves the cup to catch the rest of it while reaching over with his other paw to snatch up the rag from a hook on the side of the machine. Sorry, this thing is near broken. Do you want to sit down? He nods his head over at one of the two seats in front of the windows. Just, don't touch any of the bright lights, okay? I make my way over to the front deck, still waiting to wake up. I stand behind the seat, reaching out to touch the soft red bristles of the helmet and the wings on the sides. This only enforces the feeling that I'm hallucinating or dreaming. There's a strange Roman influence to the amicus and the ship, one that's almost cartoonish. Has my obsession of Rome gone too far? I can just imagine myself in some Italian hospital right now babbling about Roman wolf aliens. Go on and sit. Amicus plants himself heavily in the seat next to mine, holding two cups of what look like brown sludge. He holds one out to me. I take it gingerly before sitting down. Looking at the cup, the food has a consistency and look of half melted chocolate ice cream. Half melted chocolate ice cream. Except it's warm and smells like dirt and like literal mud. I scrunch my nose up at it, which Amicus notices. Yeah, it's not the best. I actually had some good food that I brought along with me, but I ate it before I got here. The wolf shrugs and settles excitedly into his seat. So, tell me about where you're from. What's life like on Earth? It's okay. Okay, well, what's your occupation? I'm a student. Oh, what discipline? Try to adjust to the surreal feeling of talking to this wolf. I don't know yet. I was looking into history, Greek, and Roman studies. It seemed confusing to him for some reason. Do you have an emperor? What's he like? I catch myself staring at his mouth again, at the weird way his mouth is unsynced with his words. No. Then how? I interrupt him. Why isn't your mouth matching up with the sounds you're making? Eh? Even with the spaceship alien around me, it's the weird distortion of feeling like I'm watching a dubbed movie that has me almost unsettled. Oh. Amicus points a finger to me, at just a spot above my left eye. I gave you a lingua. It helps you understand me. I stare at him, but he doesn't offer anything more. How? Oh, well, sort of attaches to the language center of the brain. It's very smart. It learns from the host brain and is able to interpret the 8 major galaxies' languages for them. And how does it do that? Well, our brains are structured in similar ways, at least among sapiens, so it works almost universally. Honestly, it's parental tech, so I'm not fully sure of how it works. None of us do, but it does work. Chris continues to look at me, clearly concerned about something. But I'm concerned too. How did you get it into my brain? Uh, you ask a lot of questions. I fell asleep first at the sleepover. I stare at him. Well, this is all kind of new to me. Should I not be asking questions? It's fine. I just never had a child ask me questions, really. Anyways, there's a device that inserts it. I was lucky to find one left over on the ship. Inserts it. I rub the spot between my eye and the socket. The skin's slightly tender. Does it hurt? That should wear off in a few hours. I stare at Amicus for a few moments and then down to my cup. Feeling a bit sick. Staring at the brown mush isn't helping. Need help with that? You can eat it like this. He dips his muzzle down towards his own cup, sticks out a long pink tongue, pressing it into the sledge before cupping it, bringing it back up into his mouth. He pulls it a bit of his face before smiling. Not terrible. And then he looks at me a bit closer. Wait, you do have a tongue, right? I stare back at him for a moment before setting the cup to the side of the armrest. What are you doing? Huh? What is all this? Where are you taking me? At this point, I'm starting to get over the shock. I'm starting to get annoyed by this alien's complete disregard for basically everything to do with me. You kidnapped me, you left me in a closet, you're feeding me what looks like shit, and now you're telling me that you jabbed something into my fucking brain? Amicus automatically flinches to that. Does it still hurt? I can give you another lobotomy. I don't really want anything from you. What is all this? The wolf stares at me, wide-eyed. It's like he didn't even consider me being capable of being upset. Hey, it's okay. You kidnapped me. Yeah. I feel myself getting more panicked, both from the realization of what's happening and what's currently happening.